Hey, what's up everyone? So what I'm doing here is I'm actually taking this Pepakura file of this Wehrmacht soldier helmet and I'm going to turn it into a foam template. As you've noticed now, I've kind of taken everything and connected everything together, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to restart this file. So I want to close the one that I already had working on. Whoops. It's gonna... No, I don't want to save it. Okay. So this is the file. Turn the music a little bit. Alright, so this is the file here. I am going to take just the main pieces of this. So I'm going to convert it into foam. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to take a lot of these pieces and cut them and combine them to make larger pieces rather than just making strips. I could do it the strips way, but that's just a little bit too time consuming and too much foam, and if I put it all together in the end it most likely won't fit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make them into sections. Like for example, this is the bigger part right here. You can see I'm going to make it into strips like this, and I'm going to hot glue them together. As you can see, like something like this right here is actually one whole piece that's horizontal, but I want them to be vertical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them with these lines and connect them. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the base right here, because this is kind of the starting point of everything. It's what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this off here. So as you can still see all the flaps and the numbers on my computer. With all these numbers, it's trying to render all the numbers, so it kind of lags it down. So what I'm going to do here, you can kind of see it right here, it's super laggy. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the 2D menu, I'm going to turn off show flaps, so it just removes every single one of the flaps. I'm also going to go to show edge ID, and I turn that off. As you can see, it's a lot better now. So I'm going to go back up to this piece right here. I'm not going to bother with this middle piece right here because it's a flat part right here. So I'm just going to leave that. It's actually over here in this corner. I'm just going to leave it. So I'm going to right click here, I'm going to click join and disjoin face. So what this is going to do is it's going to bring a line to show you what piece is connecting to what. As you can see, these are the connecting points to this other piece down there. So I'm going to bring it right here, double click, whoops, Control Z, there we go. I'm going to double click there, and as you can see how it's joined from here, and how these ones are not joined. So if I disconnect this right here, and I click here, it's going to join that, and as you can see, that's what it shows, to show that it's joined there. So what these lines mean are, it'll actually just explain it in this part here. Where is it? Yep, right here. So a mountain fold and a valley fold. These are all mountain folds, as you can see from here. So what mountain fold means is, think of what a mountain looks like, and that's what the fold should look like. And what valley folds are literally just a V shape. So I'm just gonna, that's just the easiest explanation I can do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cross connect point here, connect point here, connect point here, connect point here. So it kind of evens everything out. So I'm just going to click it. Okay. Well, okay, so this is kind of where, yep, I think I know what point that is there. Okay, so I'm just going to check what flap that is right now. So I'm going to right click and check corresponding face. What piece is this? Okay, so it's just right there right now. Go back to join face. Okay. I can kind of see now where I'm getting to is right now is this part right here. You can see the little arc right there. Gonna have to figure something out with this. Well, I'm gonna make everything into big pieces anyway, so I don't need to worry about this overlapping piece right here. You can see it's overlapping. disconnect this right here, you can see how it kind of arcs up, and when I connect them, they'll overlap. So I'm just going to leave that there for now, and when I start making them all into one big piece, it'll kind of even everything out. So, okay, and that's where I hit the point of, this point right here? Okay, so this point right here, where it's super overlapping, is actually this piece right here. So I'm gonna actually, rather than disconnecting, I'm just gonna hit Control Z and put it back where it was. Okay, so I'm gonna start. Okay, give me a second here. I'm trying to think of what I should do. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break it right here. Okay, break it. I'll start connecting these here. Select move. There we go. And now I'm gonna start a new section on the other half. Lag. Is it lagging? Nope, I didn't double click. There we go. Looks like a spider right now. Oh, okay, that's where I hit the point there. But we'll need to bring that up. So, what piece is that? Get this connected. Okay. I'm getting crazy Facebook notifications. Alright, so what else am I going to do here? So I'm going to check to make sure that these are all the pieces. As you can see, what I'm doing right now is I'm just checking where they're connecting to. So what this would do right here, as you can see, this is the front point right here. So what this would do is it would curve around the helmet to this point right here. And an easier way to check it, actually, I should have done this from the beginning, is to right click and go to check corresponding face, and you can kind of figure out what piece is what. I connected a lot of these other pieces, so now what this program thinks of, rather than every single individual piece being separate, it thinks that this huge piece right here is now one of these. As you can see, it says 1 to 14, 1 to 19, and such. So I'm going to click this right here, and now it's going to show me everything that's connected. So what I want to do now is I'm just going to try to figure out everything else here. So, okay. Alright, let's see if I can bring these two pieces right here. So what do those pieces look like? Okay, perf. Alright. So I believe these are the visor pieces, and this is the arc pieces. Let's just double check. Oh, these are actually, yep. Okay, that's the visor piece, visor piece, visor piece, and visor piece. Perfect. Okay. So now I'm going to start splicing these pieces. Let's start with something that's a little bit easier. So I'm going to start, it's a little tedious. I start with this point. So I'm going to keep this huge circle right here as kind of the base to work on. So when I'm hot gluing everything together, I'm going to have this large circle base on the top, and I can just hot glue this strip onto it. And then I can hot glue this, and then once I get all these points hot glued in to the base, which is going to be the top circle, I can then heat gun and curve them and use a tape. And just layer on, cover the slits on the top here, and then hot glue from the inside, so the hot glue won't seep out on the top, and then probably use some sort of Mod Podge or something to just kind of try to hide the lines of the helmet. So carrying on to this, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start turning everything into a strap. I just got to make sure which piece is what. This is Okay, so I'm gonna have to pick this one piece. Okay, where's this piece right here? Okay. Oh, okay, I see that there. I'm gonna get rid of these here. There we go. Whoops. That's why I shouldn't click that piece right there. As you can see, if I click this here and I double click, it'll actually bring this whole entire piece to that. So I don't want that. I'm gonna click here. There we go. Alright. So I'm gonna keep this base. This is gonna be my base. This circle, this half circle, sorry, and then this, and this piece right here is gonna be my base. So I'm gonna slice, 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 slice. So what I'm doing here, I'm actually just double clicking, and that's what's connecting everything. Whoops. It's quite a tedious process, but I'd rather be doing something a little productive than just playing video games. It's just a little bit time consuming, but whoops. But better than doing drugs, right kids? So like I said, this is a lot easier than... Oops. It's a lot easier than working with the individual strips. In my point of view, it's a little bit easier. I find it a lot easier. Whoops. Okay, I kind of had to try to figure something out with that. Okay, now it's shifting over into my other piece. There we go. Okay. Move some of this stuff over. Oops, too close. Okie dokie. Hopefully this isn't too boring. If it is boring, just skip up on this video and you should be able to, I guess you could say, skip all this boring stuff that I'm doing. This is the same exact process that I used when making my Borderlands Crimson Lance helmet. It made it a lot easier because then I could just use the base parts and just make pieces from it. Connect all together. And in doing so, I completed the whole helmet in 3 days. Oops, I don't want to rotate this. There we go. Okay, so this is the whole front piece. I'm just gonna make sure that everything's kinda... So what I can do to ensure that I know what piece is what, I can just right here and, for example, just input text and be like F1, I guess, and just go all the way across. But I'm not gonna do that right now until I have everything sorted out. Just so when I'm printing all the templates, it is easier to distinguish what piece is what, because you're going to be seeing a lot of strips, and I'm pretty sure after a while this is going to get a little complicated and a little complex, because they all, in the end, they all pretty much look the same when you have them all cut out and tracing out onto foam. So I'm going to just do it with the rear pieces now. And as I said, I'm going to use that as a base, so I'm going to move that out of there. And start snipping this. There's a little more complicated part. Oh yeah, okay, so this is the rear piece right here. Okay, what's that connected? Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna do some more of this. Oh, I think the whole piece is connected already. Sweet. That makes it a lot easier. Cool. Rather than working from that way, I'm gonna work from this side. There we go. Okay, sweet. So I kind of have everything done here, with the exception of the visor pieces. So all this up here, I'm going to be using this as a base, but as you can see, it kind of arcs. So I'm going to separate them into pieces like this. There we go. So then when I connect it down the middle, it kind of curves. Sweet. Okay, so let's figure out how this visor works. Actually, I could. Could I? Yes, just so it doesn't look so empty in the middle. Sweet. There we go, perfect. Okay. So to the visor, this is a little bit more complicated, it seems. Because what I don't want to connect it to the base, because right now what I have is, what I have here is, I have this piece. So if I were to connect everything right now, I would have everything but this visor. This visor part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the visor all by itself. So I'm going to rotate them so it actually looks straight here. Okay. Make sure it's the same. Okay. So is this the bottom part? No, that's not the bottom part. I want to work with the bottom part. Okay. Okay. There we go. There we go. And that one was the top piece. Okay, so I'm actually going to disconnect this. Will it work? No, it will not work. So it looks like what I will have to do is... Doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to use my 1 centimeter EVA foam to make this super tight spot. So what I'm most likely gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to use my Dremel and make this piece arc, and then have an angle cut right here to connect it to the helmet. But I still need to have that general shape. Okay. Let's do this. Nope, don't want that. Okay, there's not much overlapping here, so that's good. I'm going to connect it on this point too. Perfect. Okay, so at least I have this top base piece. Will this overlap? Yes, it will overlap. Okay, well, this is kind of hard to see. I want to connect it with as little overlap as possible. There we go. Now I completely forgot how to do that. How do I do that? Okay, where do I connect it? Okay. Perfect. Alright, sweet. So now I have the visor. Okay. Actually, what I'm gonna do here, I just want to have this one part of the visor here. I could use this piece right here. Yeah, because working with that with EVA foam is gonna be a little hard. So I'm gonna have to distinguish what this piece is right here, and I can just do that by just double clicking that, and now it tells me that it is this piece right here. So I'm gonna use this, 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 and this. Disconnect these pieces. Okay, so this is the visor, and now I'm gonna connect this. Is it that piece? Okay. Bam, just like that. I'm gonna have to try to replicate it on that side too. Let's see. There we go. Perfect. cancel this piece right here. There we go. Okay, so now I have every single base of this. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just rotating all these pieces to make them straight. So on the paper, when I'm working to cutting everything, it's a little easier to cut because then I'm just working in one direction to cut. It just makes everything work a little bit easier, and this makes everything work a little easier on the cardstock paper when I'm cutting it. So these are all the front pieces right here. This is the base. I'll straighten these out now. So luckily they lock. Oops. Luckily they lock so I know when it hits the flat point. Sweet. I gotta make sure that this is... I gotta make it this way because then it'll fit on the paper. Alrighty, now time to arrange onto the paper. This is the fun part. Actually, I gotta make sure that this is set to legal size paper because that's the kind of paper I have. Nope, it's on A4. Sorry, you have letter size paper. So there we go, now it's on letter. What am I doing? There we go. Let's try to do it like this way so I know which one's which. Perfect. Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna crack my fingers. There we go. Sweet. So now I have the whole entire template done. This is going to be the whole entire foam template for this helmet that I'm going to be working with. I don't know when I'm going to start it, but at least I have something to work with. What I have brought this down to now is to 21 parts. I don't know what the original part was. How many is it? 40 parts. So I pretty much cut everything in half of how many parts there is. And as you can see with this, it's a lot easier to working with the vertical strips, because in this case then I don't even need to cut any angle pieces. I don't need to make any angle cuts for this. I could just heat gun it and just kind of bend it into shape. And as you can see from this original piece here, from this original helmet, is a lot of strips, and it just looks a lot more frustrating. This looks a lot more frustrating than this. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it. If you have any questions, just ask me, and yeah, hopefully I can help you. Thanks.